Welcome to Rising Tides Live. Today we are talking about summer travel storytelling. Where are you going this summer? What are you doing? And how can you share that story with the community? How can you improve your smartphone storytelling? Welcome to Rising Tides Live. We do the show every Wednesday, every Friday. We're going to make a programming note for the summer, but we'll get more into those details. Let's go ahead and bring up the community. If you guys are watching on YouTube, if you're watching on LinkedIn, Facebook, please join us. This is the Rising Tide community. We've been doing this show for 4 years now, and we are a small and mighty team of digital hospitality experts from all over the globe. Richard Liverman, happy... What's today? Friday? I'm so thrown. Chicago really threw a wrench into what day of the week it is, what month of the is. Are we still in May? Is it still May? Richard,
Just
happy Friday. Go for it, Richard.
It is. Well, it is a Friday. I'm on medium power. I got in last night about 1:30, and I was up at about 6 a.m. Because I went to a rave last night, like you do. And what I was thinking,
I saw the Instagram stories, Richard's Instagram stories. I had to hear the story about this rave.
It's kind of cool. So all the records behind me, all the vinyl behind me, each year there's a very famous DJ called Pete Tong, and what he does is he gets a full classical orchestra to play dance music. And we had the most incredible singers last night. Barbara Tucker, who's a beautiful American vocalist. Rag and Bone Man, another one called Becky Hill. And they did it in this incredible venue, which is the Royal Albert Hall, where they do all these classical music concerts. And then you've got a whole bunch of ravers. It was fantastic. And I think one of the things that I love is I'm one of those geeky people that like seeing other people's kind of adventures. And so last night just went on a little bit of a pilgrimage to one of my favorite nights in London. And it fills you full of adrenaline. It was such a fantastic night. I managed to get a cheeky steak meal in beforehand.
A cheeky steak meal. What is a cheeky steak meal?
I wanted to share this with you. There's one of the things you're talking about is what stories you're going to tell about the summer. And I think we did a brilliant room on Wednesday all about how to support small businesses.
Yes.
And there's a restaurant chain. Scott was laughing at me because he's like, "You've been there again." But there's only about 6 of them. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to make steak affordable. Mm-hmm. So obviously we all know that there's inflationary pressure and everything else on food. And we've got similar challenges to you guys. And what they've done is they've actually bought a farm or a herd of cattle, and they do a steak for £15, which is about $17, $18. It's really, really nice. You buy a couple of sides, but you get in there, and instead of doing a starter, they give you a mug of popcorn. And then for dessert, you've got the choice. They give you these mini meat cleavers. I don't know if you can see this here.
Oh, we can
hold it up.
Wow.
It's a meat cleaver. So when they serve your steak, they give you the steak with a meat cleaver. And they give you this mini meat cleaver. And you've got the choice. As you leave, you can swap it for an ice cream, or you can take it home with you. And I think a lot of people use them as earrings or jewelry. I just thought it was such a nice touch. So I thought I'd show you all tonight.
So no ice cream. You took the meat cleaver.
I got the ice cream because my friend didn't want it, so I had his, and I kept the meat cleaver. Don't be fooled, Sean. I'm not missing out on ice cream.
You double dip.
I did, and do you know what? It was a really good meal for under $25. But I also really like the story, the fact that they've got this herd of cattle. They're trying to be organic. They're trying to make steak affordable, and they've just got investment to try and expand it from, I think they've got about 8 or 9 restaurants, and they really want to expand it. But I thought, what a nice story. And I think one of the things that we came out on Wednesday is how do we share the stories of the places that we go? And I think there's a little bit where, we're business owners. All of us on this call are business owners, and we're all about, how we talk about our businesses and promote it. But there's also that little bit where how do we share the stories of just cool stuff we see, whether it be a concert or a restaurant where they give you a meat cleaver. And I was joking to my friend. I said, I hope they're not doing security searches because I've got a bloody weapon on me. But I think there's something really, really nice. We're consumers. How do we share our stories? And I think that's a really nice thought for summer because, We are consumers, so go share some cool stuff.
Yeah, I think that was the inspiration for the room. Obviously, I'm heading out to Bulgaria, my annual pilgrimage to the village, and I actually, for Father's Day, my early Father's Day gift before I got to the village were these Meta Ray-Ban glasses, so I can do some point of view storytelling. So I will be in the garden in the village, capturing some content with these. Really excited about it. Already started using them. But Matt Wampler, what's up, my friend?
Well, first
Summertime.
off, Richard and you both have shown up with props, and
I know. Where's your prop?
while
Show me
Richard's out doing the orchestral rave in London, I'm back
Orchestral
home.
rave.
I'm doing like going through my mail that's been outstanding last night. So I feel like we're on very different levels right now.
Matt, that is my June. Seriously, my May has been insane. That is my June. Do not feel any kind of jealousy there at all, because I'm going to be you in June. Trust me.
Yeah, well, it's not fun. I wish I was at the orchestral rave. Shawn, you look good in the glasses, by the way.
Thank you. You see, I have hair without a hat. It was my most popular post of 2025 is Shawn in a suit without a hat. Go for
The
it.
moment you brought him out, the only thing I could think of was, how is that going to work with your hat on?
It doesn't. I went to the news. So I went to the news on Memorial Day with the wolf pack, and I tried to use the glasses, and you get this effect on the end result. So it's either hat backwards or no hat.
I think that's just part of the story. That's the Shawn point of view.
It is.
Under the
brim. It is with the hat.
Under the brim, I caught that, Wampler. Under the brim, I like it.
Under the brim. That's a good series. Under the brim.
I'm here to help you with your marketing. I'll help you tell your story, Shawn.
Matt, go ahead and let everyone know who you are and what you're building, and what kind of summer storytelling do you plan on doing?
Matt Wampler, CEO, co-founder over at ClearCogs. We help restaurants save money by getting prep and ordering and staffing right every day through predictive analytics. And as far as the summer goes, I am traveling for work all summer. It's kind of insane. I get stressed out when I get on my American Airlines app because it's just got all of these flights. So it's going to be a lot of talking about restaurants.
What are you traveling for? Meeting with clients, investors, conferences? What's
QSR summit coming up in a couple weeks, and then a number of other client meetings, but a lot of shows.
Really? What shows?
I don't have the faintest idea. Honestly, I live about 2 weeks in advance. I know the next one's QSR summit. I just see the flights.
Fantastic. Well, how are you going to better help share the story with this community and the people that want to follow what you're building?
Shawn, that's why I'm here today, to learn how I can be doing that better.
Well, let's be honest, Matt. You did such a phenomenal job. You set the bar so high at that Mertech conference that we all know you have the storytelling muscle in you. It's just how do we release it into the wild? How do we get more quantity, speed, and consistency from you?
It's funny. So I spent a lot of time on social media and LinkedIn telling stories, and we do a decent job at it. And I have not done it very much in the last 4 to 5 months. And man, is that a skill that just atrophies quickly. So I need to get back on the horse. And
but Matt, your stuff from Japan was awesome.
Yes, true.
I really enjoyed your stuff from Japan.
See, I need to do more of that.
There it is.
I mean, you're referencing months ago.
You had a great sidekick too with that storytelling, and that didn't hurt.
Amen to that.
All right, Matt. We have high expectations for all of the travel that you're going to be doing. You said American Airlines. Which airlines are we doing it?
American Airlines.
So that's the one. All right. So this is the POV from Matt Wampler with American Airlines. All the good, the bad, and the ugly. Jason Berkowitz, welcome back.
This happened to me.
We've missed you.
I've missed you as well. It's good to be back with the fam. Hello, everybody.
What's up?
Jason Berkowitz, longtime restaurant operator, partner at Aero Up Training. Online training, we help restaurants satisfy their compliance, level up their teams, and develop supervisors into leaders. For this summer, I'm pretty excited. I'm getting my hands dirty again. In aside from a garden we actually now have built, which is great, but getting back into the in-person training mode a little bit, which I'm excited by. Our buddy Josh Kopel, who I've been working with, called me up. He's like, Berkowitz, get back in the game. I got a great project for you for 1 week. Just show up. And it's this awesome restaurant, Urban Omni, in Whitefish, Montana. So near
nice.
Glacier National Park. So Josh and I are heading there next week, next Friday. So I'll miss this. I'll be traveling, but we're going to go. And their goal is to earn their great chef a James Beard Award. And it's just this awesome space and this awesome team and this crew. And I've been having a lot of fun kind of diving in again to getting in person and being with everybody and feeling the energy and seeing the reaction and the response in the moment and hitting the floor and making sure I remind myself that I cannot carry a tray of martinis or anything anymore. I do not want to fool myself to think I can actually get back into that muscle memory. But
Jason, could you drink a tray of martinis?
Yes.
I believe you could carry a tray of martinis. How many martinis is too many martinis on a tray?
Let me tell you a funny quick
Training
story
purposes.
about, did I tell you my champagne story?
No.
So 2005, whatever it is, right? I'm a young lad working catering out in Los Angeles. Entourage. Do we know the show Entourage, right? So Entourage is top of the game. We're in it. We're doing a party that they're all there, right? It's most
You're
popular.
doing a party for Entourage? Why do these stories take like?
No, I was catering. I was catering. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but you were catering a party for Entourage.
Sure.
That's
And
what do you mean? Sure, that's fantastic. That's
hottest
awesome.
of hottest in the room and everything. And I'm walking out and they're like, Berkowitz, we need you to lead the front. Like, we're coming out with a chain. I'm like, I got this. Tray, I mean, the muscles were in play, top of my game. Walking out, full set of tray. I go, I stop, I turn. They're all sitting there. Jeremy Piven, Angel Ganera. I got the names because I'm rewatching it now. Just laying there. I walk, I look at them. Shit. It all goes down.
What?
All of them right there. Bounces, splatters, does everything. So,
Stop it.
Jason, did they cheer? Did they cheer you?
I just kind of back up. So,
Oh my God, are you gonna tell Whitefish this story? This is how you lead any training.
oh God. So no, Whitefish.
This is a phenomenal story. How long have we known each other? No one's heard this story.
Here you go. The next part of the story.
You didn't spill it on Jeremy Piven?
No, but here's the part is I'm like, okay, I got this. And they're like, you ready to go back out? Cleaned it up, took 20 minutes, did this whole thing. You hear it. We're talking about a tray of champagne flutes, a tray, not one. I'm like, if I don't do this again, I will never do it again. I'm going to carry. They're like, you don't have to. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I need to do it. I'm the guy to do it. And they fill up my tray and they get me there. And I walk out there and they're waiting for me, those sons of bitches. And Piven looks at me, he goes like this. Like this, don't you do it. Shit. The whole thing.
Stop it.
Goes down again, smashes there, hits it. They stand up, they start applauding. The whole restaurant applauds. Everyone looks at this. What did I do? I took a bow. I took off my apron. I handed it off. I said, I'll be in the back doing dishes the rest of the night. I'm never carrying. So twice, not once. I dropped 24 flutes full of champagne on the team, not on, but all against the team of Entourage that I got a standing ovation. So lo and behold, the mental game is real, man. When they call about the yips, we talk about the yips in baseball, right? Where you just kind of miss. Man, did I have the yips. And I said, you know what? I think it's time for me to elevate above the floor right now and get a little bit more into management. And that started to be that. So as I hold
the answer to the question of how many martinis is too many, the answer is one.
One.
It's too many.
One is too many. So we will.
Oh my God.
Be careful. But and what I'm really excited by is Kopel's he's bringing his camera. We're gonna take some photo shoots. We're gonna film it. Hopefully, we're gonna get some stuff. We're gonna get.
Stop. What'd you just say?
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Josh Kopel, I love him, but I don't trust his ability to record. I've been on him for a long time. He has incredible stories. We need more Kopel and Berkowitz, but it doesn't happen if you're not recording.
Yeah, if we're not a law firm, we might as well become a content.
You should be a law firm.
Yeah.
Kopel and Berkowitz.
Yeah, it's meant to be. So we're gonna We're going to film it. I'm going to get in the weeds. And here's what's really cool. At the end of the summer, we're going to Alaska. I have never seen a glacier in my life. I think I'm going to see 2 this summer, which
Sweet.
that's pretty cool. So that's the arc of where I'm going to have the fun, and I'm excited. I'm going back home. We're doing a lot of stuff, but storytelling, capturing it, and carrying over, getting my hands dirty. Not picking up
Jason,
the trash.
you've got to get some ice from that glacier and make a martini with it just to complete the story.
No. I'll make a Negroni and carry that. I can carry a rocks glass like a champion.
So let's get practical, Jason. Which platform and how are you sharing these stories?
We're going to work on that. Josh and I are we're sourcing it out. We're doing really cool stuff. I mean, we're synthesizing all of these great podcasts that I've had the pleasure of being on, and bringing those down into messaging. And I got a Copel and Berkowitz LLC, or Legal and Legal. We've got a photo shoot that I've already done. It's
nice.
It's happening. Sometimes we just need that, right? We need that person that you grab and say, all right, I need you to be for me what I can be for other people. Let's do this. So I'm just really excited to get on the floor again and get my hands dirty.
That Entourage story, you need to tell that like all the time.
It's an okay one. It's just.
What do you mean it's an okay one? It's a phenomenal story. You are the training guy.
I'm the training guy, and let me tell you.
But you gotta lead with all trainers fail.
All trainers fail.
We all fail.
Yeah. Well,
why do we fall? So we can learn how to get back up.
Well, I'm a little disappointed, actually. So the one thing I learned from you is every story needs a title. Where was the title for this one? What was the champagne story? That's it?
No. When Entourage became my entourage.
Better. We'll workshop it.
Yeah, we'll workshop it.
Under the brim was better branding, but we'll workshop the Entourage champagne story.
Matt, almost famous was a good one, right? And that's another story we'll tell.
That was much better.
Time I was almost famous. That's
a good time. That's a good title.
Yeah, good title.
Yeah,
that's a good title. Scott Turner, great to have you here.
There we go.
Popping up. I saw a little prop getting under the radar that you're going to pull out there. Let's get
a prop. Props? Yeah.
No, they've moved the props.
It's show and tell Friday. You got to bring.
Scott, you've got to get the Pac-Man dumplings out. I know where you are.
Tell us what's up. And by the way, is it good or sacrilegious to paint over brick? I'm cool with painting white brick.
No, you have to paint brick.
You have to paint brick.
You can paint brick. This is painted.
Sounds like an English thing.
Otherwise, you don't keep it clean in the restaurant, do you? So you have to be able to clean over it. So
that's true. That's a good point. Healthcare as the restaurant safety guy.
Yeah, restaurant safety guy.
Yeah, I'll get some Pac-Man dumplings. I'll get them brought up. No worries. We'll sort that out. I'm in Red Farm today, in the middle of Covent Garden. So we're enjoying that. Nice and busy around London today, and the weather's out nice and sunny as well, which is cool. So shall I do my 60 seconds?
Yeah, please.
I do. So my name's Scott. I'm the founder of Odin Hospitality. We are helping hotels to build bold and exciting food and beverage venues. So we're working all over the world. We're currently in London. We're in Europe. We are in Nairobi, and we are in Abu Dhabi. So very much seeing different parts of the world, which is fun and exciting.
Can you share the impetus for 48 Hours in Nairobi for those that haven't seen the YouTube video that I absolutely love? And we say a lot of things on these shows, these meetings, these Rising Tides calls. We come up with a lot of good ideas, but the reason I love this community so much is like you actually do the work, and like to see you producing that YouTube show like gives me and the viewer, anybody that hasn't seen it, a look into what it's like to travel with Odin Hospitality and to go see Nairobi.
Yeah, it all came out of actually end of last year. We did the first one in Riyadh, and we were going to all these amazing places, going out and trying the food. And when we go, we always try and get under the collar of where we're going to. So as we were doing it, we were doing things on Insta stories and stuff like that, and we just thought, well, let's be a bit more intentional about it and show people that when we talk about bringing expertise, and we're working globally and things like that. There's nothing like saying what you do on the tin by taking a recorder, a video with a recorder. God, it's not the 1980s. Taking a videographer with you and filming it and talking about your experience, and then putting it on YouTube for everyone to see. So it's actually nothing to do with Odin Hospitality. We don't show you what we're doing. We don't show you any projects. It's not a selfish corporate brand-driven thing whatsoever. This is our top 2 food places to go and our top experience to do in the city. So when we went to Nairobi, we went to this breakfast brunch place called Tin Roof Cafe. Then we went to a farm to table restaurant called Cultiva, which we got to do an interview with the GM, and we were actually in the area where they were growing the vegetables and stuff like that. We were tasting all the herbs and things. So it was really authentic. We got the guy at the start who says unpredictable is one of Nairobi's biggest jazz musicians called Anton Neo Soul. Check him out. He's on Spotify, he's on YouTube. We met him in a bar, funnily enough. And I was like, we met him, he had this vibe, he had this energy about him. And I was like, listen, we've got to do the intro to the video. If I buy you lunch at Cultiva, will you come and do it? So that's the guy who does, basically, we did it with Riyadh, and it was explain Riyadh in one sentence. The guy said the next big thing. So we did the same thing for Nairobi. It was like, what is Nairobi in one sentence? And he literally was just like, it's unpredictable. And then we finished, we went into the nature reserve. So all the footage that you see there, none of it's stock. Everything is real life. It's all the animals that we saw as we were going round. The guy had the 360 camera and everything. I found the videographer on Fiverr. It cost me $500, including editing.
Wow.
And my guys here put the final touches to it. He did it to them in Premiere Pro. So it cost me $500 plus a bit of time from my guys to put it together. The Riyadh ones had like 22,000 views on YouTube, which Sean, you'll know is
Really?
not easy to do. Yeah.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah,
That's huge.
I don't know what Nairobi is, but Nairobi's doing pretty well as well. So yeah, it was just, you know, it's there. We did some when I went to Hong Kong and Bali and stuff as well, but it was all shot on iFilm. So it's going to be a different kind of series. It's not going to be the 48 hours, but we're actually going to do it and make it really obvious that it's been done on an iPhone and kind of shot on an iPhone and stuff like that, and be a bit more authentic about it. So I guess my thing on this would be is very much like when Matt was in Japan. It's just be really intentional about what you want to do, what you want to film, and what you want the end result to kind of feel like, and then you can tailor it around kind of the stuff that you shoot, and that's what we've done. So yeah, we're working on that.
Scott, you're doing Lisbon.
We're doing Lisbon. We've done Budapest. So I did Bali. I've done Hong Kong. We've done Budapest. We've done Lisbon. All shot on an iPhone, like really authentic, almost behind the scenes. So it's a bit shaky and stuff like that. But actually, that looks quite cool when it's on a final edit.
I'm assuming you're going to do, instead of 48 hours, are you going to do 48 minutes in Leeds?
I'm not responding to that. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to doing my 48 hours in Bulgaria when I go to a proper friend.
Let's live produce this thing. We literally started this Rising Tides call on Clubhouse as a way for Cali Barbecue Media to do our team calls. And we're like, hey, if we're going to build a media company in public, let's just go ahead and open it up, and maybe somebody somewhere will find this interesting. But now we have a community. Let's Scott, share what we're doing this summer, and we can get some feedback from the producers, Richard, Matt, Jason, and Mike on how to make this video the best way possible. Go for it.
Go on then. So we're in Vegas, and Sean was talking about going to Bulgaria with the Woolpack over the summer. So we're only 3 hours away in London. So I was like, what a chance for me to bring my kids to hang out with your kids, and we do the English American thing in person. So we're going to head over
4th of July weekend.
Over 4th of July weekend as well. So yeah, we're going to head over to the Black Sea. Sean texted me, was like, can you find a good hotel in the certain area of the Black Sea of Bulgaria? So it was like super niche.
I put the hotel expert to the test.
So we found this hotel, which is super cool. Some good restaurants in it. So some good restaurants in there. The local area is quite cool in terms of getting like really authentic in terms of what's around. And we're going to hang out, right? It's going to be cool.
We are.
Super cool.
We are. What is this? What Jason? What do you want to see from the Bulgarian Black Sea? With
I mean,
Auden
I didn't see the
hospitality?
area. Like, I want to see what hospitality feels like. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I want to see what's universal. What kind of crosses beyond any sort of language or sense of communication is that element of like feeling what matters. That I want to know. Like, I want to know universal hospitality.
Matt?
I want to see you bringing American values and putting cameras on a bunch of people in Bulgaria who have no idea who you are and what the hell you're doing.
Making people uncomfortable. Are you saying that?
I would tune
the gift
into that in a heartbeat. Yes, go find some, grandma in Bulgaria and make her uncomfortable.
That's no problem. Richard, what do you think?
I'd like to see you guys consuming some of the local spirits. I wonder if they have Unicum in Bulgaria.
What did you say?
It's a spirit they have in Hungary called Unicum.
Stop it.
They have all kinds of strange spirits in Eastern Europe, and I'd like to see you guys drinking.
I think they might have put one over on you, Richard.
I'm going to put it in the chat. If you go to Hungary, there's a very famous drink called Unicum. I would like to see you guys in Eastern Europe drinking obscure spirits and the effects.
I won't be drinking any spirits, but I will put Scott to the test as a proper Englishman.
The producers are refusing to Google that.
Yeah.
Best contribution of Mike yet. That was fantastic, Mike. Producer Mike.
Mike Ungaro, who are you? What are you building? What are your plans for storytelling this summer?
What's happening, guys? Plans for storytelling. I don't really have any major vacation planned this summer. Last big one we did was Croatia, around the islands with the family and some friends, which was awesome. For this summer, I'll be in Arizona next week teaching, leading a session on building your networks and the AI revolution, which I'll share with y'all when I get back. We're still developing it. I'm kind of excited. I'm going to go to Cigar King, which is a gigantic cigar place in Scottsdale with like over 1 million cigars. And I order from there, but I haven't had a chance to visit. So I'm kind of looking
1 million cigars?
Yeah, over 1 million.
What's that? How much does that? What's the value of 1 million? I mean, per cigar. What's the cheapest cigar? Is like $1? Like,
I don't know. So Albert, who'll be on Fish Factor next week, he went
inventory.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm going to find out because Albert went there last year because we're going to the same conference. We're leading the same session, and he says, "You missed out. This guy's got over 1 million cigars in this place." I'm like, "Okay, I'm going next time."
Does he need inventory tracking software? Because I know a guy that could help him out with that.
All right, I'll find out, man.
Some forecasting on cigars. Yeah. Let's get into new verticals. Tell the investors, Matt.
1 mile of cigars.
Clear cogs, one stick at a time.
One stick at a time.
So that's it. We're going to Vegas. You and I will be doing a lot of storytelling on stage in August with
yes.
With our
is August considered summer? I don't know. What are the official dates of summer?
It definitely Labor Day to Memorial Day. Memorial Day to Labor Day.
That's
Memorial Day to Labor Day. Got it. So yeah, August. Yeah, summertime in Vegas. That's right.
What I'm going to focus on in between that though is I noticed, and I forget about this a lot. Like we work on all the storytelling about like what I notice about our business and my family notices about the business. But Mike in the background here, Biseglia, was telling me a story that I think it was his grandparents who grew up in Philadelphia, would go to Santa Monica every summer, stay the summer in Santa Monica, and visit San Pedro Fish Market 2 or 3 times. And I started to think, how many people have a story like that? I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on this group, but my wife, when we first started dating, she would come over to my mom's house, and there was this picture on my mom's refrigerator of these 4 guys that worked in our crab tank. I don't even know why my mom had it on the refrigerator. And she goes, "Oh my God, I used to go check out that boy all the time." I go, "Oh yeah, that's Tom, my best friend. Like, it looked like Tom Cruise. He'd get girls' numbers all the time." He goes, "No, that guy was an asshole. The guy with the curly afro, I used to go check him out." And I go, "Damn, that's me." She goes, "Why didn't you say hi? I had to wait 10 years to meet you. I'm like 24 now." And so she goes, "Yeah, we would come out when my family would visit from Colorado. My dad would take the whole family there, and we'd have crabs and lobster, and it was just a thing." And I was thinking, Lynette Romero, who used to be on KTLA Morning News here at Channel 5 News, she was doing a story when they were covering the redevelopment and how everyone was getting evicted, about how she did it every hour on the hour or whatever. And the final segment, she goes, "I just want to share a story about San Pedro Fish Markets where I had my first date with my husband." And I started to think about all this. I forgot about all these things, and we're talking to people, people that work for me. I have one guy that's just got his camera on all the time, capturing content for us. And there's so many people coming from so many different states, and I'm just starting to wonder how many stories have we missed. So one of the projects I'm going to work on is how do we capture that, like a San Pedro Fish Market or San Pedro Fish Tales. Like, what's your story that behind the business? If you got 2 million people coming in a year, I think there's a lot of content. We could almost make another show out of it, Shawn. So
I love it.
I think that's what I'm going to do, because we have become, or have been for a long time without realizing it, a bit of a tourist attraction for people visiting. The other interesting part is, as we talk to customers and we follow sort of the social media complaints sometimes, like, there is no other place I would ever wait in a line this long except Disneyland, which is a great selling point when I ever have conversations.
That's a t-shirt, man.
Yeah, right.
That was on a t-shirt.
So
For sure.
I want to, that's a great idea, Jason. So I want to start capturing more of that. I think there's something we can build off there. And then
Build a little photo booth. Like, instead of the photo booth, you've got like the little confession booth where it's just kind of off there, black drop, and you've got the little camera there, and they press go and they turn it on and tell us your story.
Oh, it's such a great idea. I just thought
It's right outside, just always there, permanent.
Yeah, it's a great idea. And then I talked this morning to some text with Evan Lovett, who does LA in a Minute, which for if you're in LA, is like, it's got an incredible. We're one of his first interviews. So I'm like, hey, I'm about to open phase 2 in San Pedro. He goes, I'm there. Just tell me when. We'll cover it. So I'm really going to work on sort of the other people telling our story version to complement what we're doing.
Those are great ideas, Mike. I think, back to, somebody mentioned it, but I think it was Scott, about being intentional. Like, knowing that you have customers coming that have stories that want to share. I mean, even when we filmed that family style episode with you, and we had, Tommy went to the table, like, we got the customer and the son that was at the table talking about how much he loved the fish. But like, if you're not intentional about that, all those stories, they just go to the wayside, right? Yeah.
It's like another level of table touching. It's like, let's get out there, touch tables, but let's find out what the stories are. Not just if you're satisfied with the day, like what brought you here, how often you come, how far did you travel? I think it's just a missed opportunity that didn't occur to me until recently. So
yeah, and I think, when you think about, like, from a production standpoint, you have to be intentional about it. And, like, let's think Father's Day, right? Father's Day, people are going to be waiting in line. Like, is there an opportunity to break up the monotony of waiting in line and having somebody being like, hey, would you be willing to, share, what does San Pedro Fish Market mean to you guys? Like, how far did you come? Where did you travel? Stuff like that.
Yeah. That's genius. So,
do you know, Dominic Cancel is a master at this. It's one of the things that we learned when we were working with him, and it's interesting. He's just opened a new bakery in New York, so you might be able to catch the back end of some of it if you go on a look. Is the way he works the line and the way he gets the line to work to his advantage by being really intentional about what he does down the line is really interesting. And we had the same thing in London, especially on some of the big days. So unlike on Valentine's Day, he'll go out with like red roses, and he'll go out there with like pastries and tasters, the cookie shots and things like that. And he'll always do Instagram, going down the line and talking to people and interacting with people and putting it out onto socials. And he did a big one when I think his new one was called Papa Amor. It's in New York as well. And I'm sure there'll be some stuff on his Insta. If you look at that, the way he works those lines and uses it to his advantage on socials is so good. So good.
There's somebody that I just interviewed. His name's world famous egg roll, but he live streams. He has 5 food trucks in South Florida, 3 restaurants, but he literally live streams all of his lines every single day. And he has like a master headquarters where he can go and talk to the line. So like he can like actually like interact with the line and start talking to them, where they're talking to the, the egg roll master. It's pretty
turning
amazing.
A weakness into a strength, isn't it? I mean, Guinness did this for years with good things come to those that wait. And I think we've talked about it before. I think it's a great opportunity to do marketing, but not only to people who are watching, and obviously people, I mean, us Brits, we love a queue. We'll just join one.
We love a queue.
We do. Scott knows. But
why do you love a queue? I hate a queue.
Oh, we moan about it, but it gives us something to moan about. But there's also that bit where the people in the queue, it becomes part of the experience. And I think this is something we've talked about many times, where the places that have really great experiences. And it's an opportunity to do marketing to the people in the queue. because you're giving them that additional experience. And I think there's that little bit where if you can turn your weaknesses into strengths, I think that's fantastic.
Tell them to tell their story while they're in line, and if they post it or whatnot that you resell, by the time they get to the front, they get something extra.
Yeah.
Discounted
Michael,
t-shirt.
I just got to say, this has been the best argument I could possibly think of to turn you into basically a Walmart greeter. Very compelling.
That's all right. Seafood greeters. I got to come up with a name for that, man. That's good.
The seafood greeters. I love it.
We had to have a whole team just managing the line. It's just 200 yards long.
Let's speed the lineup.
Wherever, you know what the thing was is, of course, the people that were in line were all getting bribed. Let me go first. But the problem is, if you took that bribe, you created chaos. I mean,
Yeah,
it
you
was
can't,
just
you
like,
can't do that. Are you selling drinks along the way in the line?
we were for a while. What happened is one of our family members, Mike Morey, he's part of the ownership. He invented a side business doing Hawaiian ice, and made a fortune just selling sugared water in those lines.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, the big thing of Wagamama, where I talked about in a previous story in London, was that's when I really realized the power of like I was drinking sake before I even got to the front, and I had one of the best experiences. Right. So just get the beer going. I don't like to jump to the front, Matt, like the fast pass to jump to the front. I like to get something extra if you tell a story and or start buying stuff and turning the ticket for credit and pay for it up front.
Making cues great again. That's so great.
Mike,
too soon.
Mike, can you share your new show that this community might not know, but we assume that there's always somebody out there that can be a new subscriber. Yes.
Fish Factor.
Yes.
Yeah, subscribe Fish Factor. We've got a new episode coming out every Tuesday. I think we have 16 that we've recorded. I'm really excited to see the stuff we did in Chicago. And it's like sort of a behind the scenes of what it takes to run the business, what it's like working with family, a lot of our historical stuff. Like when we had, I'm going to tell the story about when we had Joey Chestnut out and we did a shrimp eating contest, and everybody was expecting it to be like hot dogs, just swallow whole, or small shrimp that they could chew. But I had giant shrimp, and so they all got lockjawed, and there was some vomiting. It was terrible. But it was a cool event. It was on Memorial Day. I think it was 5 years ago, right on the deck of the battleship Iowa that's docked next to us. It was really cool. So we'll tell some of those stories and we'll share some video from it. And it's a great compliment to what we're doing in the background with Kings of Fish. So really excited about it. Having a lot of fun with it too.
Well, Mike and Mike's family, we're going to be in Las Vegas at the US Foods Fanatic Show. That's going to be Mandalay Bay, August 19 and 20. So anybody that wants to go to that show, that wants to go to Vegas, please let me know. I'll send you links to how to get tickets and how to get involved. But US Foods is doing some work to reimagine what a food show looks like. And we're really grateful for the opportunity to tell Mike's story up on stage. And I'm going to be doing some content there as well. So
it'll be my 55th birthday. So if you're there, we can all celebrate.
Party time in Vegas in the summer with Mike. Matt, you have some breaking news you want to share with the community, what we should be looking out for?
Well, we've got our podcast, the Restaurant AI podcast, coming out, I think, as soon as next week.
There's only one episode that matters, though.
And it's going to be the one with Mike. Michael was gracious enough to sit down with me at the NRA show, the National Restaurant Association show.
Right. That was probably the most fun I had, actually.
I got to tell you, I'm not sure whether there's any value there, but it was a lot of fun.
Those episodes are the best. Some of those episodes, they're the most entertaining, to be honest. I mean, the episode I did with Xavier where we just talked about Matt Wampler was one of my favorite episodes. I don't know how much value there was, but it was entertaining.
It was cool. It was good.
All right. So, let's go ahead and give some tips, some practical advice for summer storytelling. Jason Berkowitz, start us off.
Advice to myself: don't be afraid to pull out the phone. Don't be afraid to hand the phone to somebody else and ask them to capture something. And I did that the other day. We were at a couple of restaurants filming stuff for the IHC, Independent Hospitality Coalition. And I just was like, it was the bravery of like, hey, will you take a photo? Will you do this? It's hard. it's hard, and I did it. And so it's advice to myself to do that more, because I got some great images that I get to use. So pull the phone out, hand it to somebody.
There it is. Matt, advice?
Just a reminder, as Richard brought up the Japan thing, I told my story traveling to Japan, and I get that brought up with people constantly still. Storytelling matters, and make sure that you go out there and tell your story, because people are watching.
Yeah. Richard?
Yeah, go and enjoy other people's content. I've really enjoyed some of the videos that Scott's been putting out of his travels, and Matt's one of Japan was just fantastic. I always like what Elizabeth said, which is, how can you take people with you that can't necessarily be there, and take them on your adventure? And I really, really like that. And if you fancy another adventure, Thursday, 9 a.m. East Coast time, 6 a.m. LA time, I'm doing a webinar on business therapy, which might include go somewhere cool and drink the local spirits as a tip.
Yeah, my last name translates to Hungarian, but I just don't know if I can drink the Unicum. I don't know.
Mike Ungaro, what's
I was thinking about this as you asked the question, and I think we take for granted the power we have to record the things we're doing. So, and it showed up for me when, if you watched Kings of Fish, all the seasons we had up until we did Amazon Prime, the person that really stole the show all the time was Tommy Jr. It was my business partner. When my dad passed away, it was very unexpected. I was 29, he was 56. And when the way I kind of held it was, I was with my kids, is I've got to leave a memory for them, because at that time there wasn't really social media. We didn't have, we might have social media, but we didn't have all this technology. Actually, we didn't have social media. And so the weird thing about it was my dad was reduced to a picture on the mantle, and I didn't know how to tell my kids. They don't have really any memories of him except my wedding video. But when we were deciding, should we go on with Kings of Fish because Tommy Jr. passed away, had COVID, and he didn't make it. He died. It was very unexpected. And so we were trying to figure out, should we do this Amazon Prime thing or not without him, because he was such a big part of the show. We met with his kids and his wife and stuff. And Tim, our producer, who's on the episode of Fish Factor this week, was like, I'm going to do everything I can to honor him. And it clicked for me at that second, because he was the same age as my dad when he passed away, and his kids were the same age as me. And I go, guys, I got a couple pictures on a mantle and a video from my wedding. You have 7 seasons of your dad being himself, and that's really something to cherish. And so as I was thinking about that right now, I think we take for granted that what we're recording is like a legacy. No matter if it's dumb, funny, serious, or whatever, you never know when your last day is going to be. And I've got 3 daughters, and it's like it leaves something for people to know who you were, and especially loved ones. So I would take that into mind as you're recording things and documenting your life.
Love it. Great points. Just a quick programming note. We're going Wednesdays only for the summer. So I will be in Bulgaria. I will try to lead as many of these calls as I can, but I need help from the community. So if you want to host the show, please. We're going to be running it every Wednesday. So that's starting June, July, August. But we will get back to full programming in the fall. But shout out to the community. Please reach out to Mike Biseglia. Let us know when you can host a Wednesday show. Scott Turner, Mike is yours.
No, I think Mike just touched on a great one. And as we've been doing some of the iPhone shooting when we've been on holiday, there's a double-pronged thing on it of doing the one that will go on Instagram that shows where we've been, and one that can bring in some of the family bits that's quite personal and does it, because I think there's an amazing one. My other one before Mike said that was going to be, don't be scared to ask as well. It's amazing how many times we go into somewhere and ask to go. Like in Lisbon, we were in the back of a kitchen in a Michelin star restaurant filming the charcoal grill on the iPhone and stuff like that. Like people, if you tell them why and what you're doing it for, people will let you see the most amazing parts of their business. There was a chef doing the meat slicer on this beautiful old Burkle meat slicer. And like, she was just there, just doing as many as that. She was like, have you got a good enough shot there? And he was like, oh, maybe it needs to. So just ask people, because everyone needs exposure. Everyone needs help. And if you're there to help them, it doesn't matter whether you have 10 followers or 100,000 people. People want you to tell their story as much as your own.
Yeah, that's a good reminder. Ask for video. don't just take a selfie photo with somebody that you're with that you might, I mean, you know, Scott, to your point, you're meeting with somebody that knows Nairobi better than anyone else on earth, and you can get them for 1 minute to share a story, to share a lesson, to share something that's impactful. And if you ask them why, and if you're intentional with why, I mean, even, you know, when I run into Chef Robert Irvine at the National Restaurant Show, I can take a picture with him. That's great. Yeah, I ran into my, you know, one of my friends, one of my mentors, Chef Robert Irvine, but even better if, and he has no problem. He's a media professional. He has no problem doing a video, but he's not going to do a video unless I ask him to do it. So ask somebody to do the video.
And no detail, sorry, no details too small either, because there's some stuff that when it goes to the editors, like transitional bits between what you think is important, these guys can work magic with just being in a car and taking a video. Like we've got some in Barlet, and it's like wobbling, but there's scooters flying past that gives so much authenticity to the video that actually the little things sometimes make the video, because that's where they can change the music, they can change the vibe, they can show the authenticity. And you're right, Shawn, about the interview stuff. So the guy who did that interview, we've got 3 other videos. We released one, which is he's doing he's launching a non-profit in Nairobi, which is basically going to create a library in an underprivileged area, and he's going to give them access to business books and stuff like that. So we did a video on what it was going to be and sending people to watch the journey. But we've got 3 other videos with him as well, talking about Nairobi and doing different bits. So out of those conversations, again, you think it's 10 minutes of blurb, actually you can get quite a bit out of it. So that is a really good point.
The transitional piece, it can't be under, like, don't be afraid to take a picture in the airport, even though the airport might not be cool to you. It sets the tone. I mean, I remember watching Matt, like Matt did such a good job in Japan of telling us, like, I'm leaving for Japan. Like, I'm on the plane to Japan. Like, now I'm here in this first location. This is the hotel, or this is outside of the, like, all of those little details make me remember his trip to Japan.
Yeah. I hosted a dinner last night in the Long Beach location, similar to where you and I met Shawn, but it was only a few people.
Yep. It
was an entrepreneur operating system thing. And the guy I met last night owns all these restaurants. I never met him before, but there are like 4 or 5 restaurants and bars that my friends and I have been going to for years. I got to take a picture and send it to my friends. And I go, wait, no, I got to take a video, and you need to tell them what you own. Like, I just met the guy that owns Gina Joe's and the new tiki bar he went to, and he's building one on the pier in Hermosa Beach where the rupee. And I was like, I can't believe this. Otherwise, why are you sending me a picture of this guy with a beard?
Amazing. Programming next Wednesday, we're going to be doing a show on corporate content. So corporate content doesn't have to suck. If you can find good examples of corporations that do great storytelling, don't be boring. Don't be boring, and find us the best corporate content there is, whether it's on LinkedIn, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, wherever it is. But we're going to talk about corporate content next Wednesday. Any parting words, Matt, Jason?
Does showing up in the Pepsi hat count as corporate content?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good content.
I got to give a shout out to Don't Be Boring. That, like, those, it's so good, Richard, that you've got me now thinking, like, what's that line? Because they had those little, at the NRA and whatnot, people were just holding that up. I'm like, Richard's there. That's it. You found your way there in 3 words.
Yeah. Do you want a funny one, Jason? I went to the awards ceremony last week, and what I did is I managed to get into every goodie bag the Don't Be Boring postcards, and went all over social media.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
So simple. And I've made a load of stickers, and I think, this is actually an idea came from Scott, which is, how can you do something different? And, encouraging people to be disruptive with stickers, and, you can just bring a bit of personality. And I think when you come to that corporate content, I think there's so much stiff and boring. Like, who's interested in that? How can you be disruptive and be interesting? And there's so many ways of doing that. So I'm really, really pleased it got into Chicago. That's grand.
You crushed Nike. I mean, it's, just do it. That's it. You literally 3 words. All right, Wampler, you got your 3 words? Because if not, we got to work on both of ours.
What's your 3 words?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying but I'm going to work on it. Screw everything else I said. That's a homework.
That's the homework.
Work smarter, not harder.
Terrible. 4 words. 4 words. Just boring.
And this is him on the record. You should hear what he tells me when it's just the two of us on the phone. Like, you know,
Terrible.
kind of idiotic idea with that, Wampler.
Be better, Wampler. 3 words.
Be better.
Drop my martini.
Yeah. Son of a.
Those are Jason's words. Do better.
Do better.
Do better.
Mike, what are your 3 words?
God, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Just keep
Eat
fishing.
more
I don't-
fish.
Just keep fishing.
We used to say we make sexual harassment sexy, but sexual harassment training sexy, but that doesn't work so well.
Doesn't work so well, man.
Doesn't work so well.
Scott Turner, what are your 3 words? Close us out.
Smoke my cigar.
Oh, that he left.
Jason, you have the best line of anybody I've met. That turning managers into leaders or something.
Develop
like
supervisors into leaders.
that.
Yeah, that's great.
That's good stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
There it is. Well,
All
be
right,
the show.
I'm still going to carve this out a little bit more.
Keep showing up. There it is. Laura Wilbur. Thank you, Laura. We appreciate you. And anybody watching, Dean LeBay, everybody that's on the live stream, anybody that's listening to the Digital Hospitality Podcast after the fact, we appreciate you. I get all the comments. So thank you for listening. We would love for you to join us on the live show all summer long, every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Is that right? 1 p.m. Eastern time and 6 p.m. London time. Does that time zones work out for the summer? There's no time changes?
No, 6 p.m. London time. And from Scott, he just said, oops, I hit the wrong button. His 3 words are rewrite the rules.
Beautiful. And it'll be 7 p.m. Bulgarian time. So
That's
I will be
good.
joining you from 7 p.m. on Wednesdays Bulgarian time. We appreciate you. Thank you, Biseglia. Thank you, Stover.
Adios.
There it is. Game time.
Have a great time when you go over with Scott and
Oh, we just missed you.